The heavens looked down upon my life and saw my suffering. The spirits in all their wisdom could not end them, for it was not within their power. As I prayed for death, the heavens opened up, and into my life came love, courage, protection, a friend, a confidant, a partner in life. He is the most beautiful spirit I have ever seen, and I call him Ben.
This is a story of courage, love, and compassion. The story of how one woman's life was touched by fate and then lifted to new heights with the help of a very special friend. A friend that has become her soulmate, her spirit guide, her lifesaver. This is the story of Karen and Ben and the realization of a dream. This is the story of Paws For Ability, a nonprofit agency founded to provide service animals to persons with disabilities.
When I got Ben, my life was really going nowhere. I had let disability take over. Ben came in, he made the difference. Ben gave me the will to go back out, the will to get on with life, the will to live every day. I started Paws For Ability because I wanted other people to have this same chance at life that Ben gave to me. We provide dogs to a lot of different people, but we focus mostly on populations that are underserved. We provide service dogs for children. We provide service dogs for people with hidden disabilities. But you know, those are the people that can really tell you what Paws For Ability is all about.
Annie and Butler, Judy and Bailey, Elizabeth and Wings, three unique individuals with one special bond. They all rely on their service dogs to conquer everyday tasks that most of us take for granted. Their experiences are the greatest testimony to the impact that service animals have on their lives. Annie Davis is a 13-year-old teenager who suffered a spinal cord injury in 1998. And while most agencies do not train service animals for young people, Paws For Ability does not exclude anyone, regardless of age, if they meet the necessary criteria for handling a service animal. Now, not only did Annie meet the criteria, she also had a name picked out for her dog well in advance.
I was coming out of surgery in the hospital and I was sedated, and I heard of all the stuff service dogs can do, and I thought it would be like having a hairy butler, so I named him Butler.
Elizabeth Frierson is a professor of Middle Eastern history at the University of Cincinnati. Suffering from fibromyalgia, her condition is described as invisible, but it's no less debilitating than any other. Also, Elizabeth wanted to train her own service dog with professional guidance. This led Paws to develop an in-home training program as a cost-effective alternative to traditional training methods.
I was convinced that I do need an assistance dog because, as Karen says, if what's wrong with you interferes with your work, then you need to find whatever you can find to help you make it through the workday as you did before you became ill. And I think she was right.
Judy Reed has been a longtime acquaintance of Karen's and an admirer of Ben's. After several years of considering a service animal, Judy finally gave in and took Karen up on her offer to find and train a service dog for her.
I was really impressed with Ben, but I said to Karen, no, I don't need a service dog, not at this time. The years passed, and then eventually I began thinking, you know, a service dog would really help me, you know, around the home, and when I go to work, working with the preschoolers, it would be beneficial.
Each service animal trained by Paws For Ability is unique, as are the circumstances the animals are trained for. Knowing the special needs of each and every person who seeks service dog training and placement from Paws is absolutely critical. And then the day arrives that everyone looks forward to when the dogs are introduced to their new teammates.
When I first met Butler, they brought two dogs to the hospital for me to pick. One was a golden retriever and then him. And they said, which one do you want? And I looked over some of the papers that they'd done and tests they'd worked with him on and just how he responded to stuff. And I picked him.
The first time that Karen brought Bailey over, I wasn't impressed at all. I was expecting a golden retriever, not a blonde golden retriever. And she was very hyper. I kept thinking, how is this dog going to be beneficial to me? And Karen said, of course, we just got her and she'll settle down with her training. And I said, oh yeah, you know, I'm thinking, sure, Karen. But sure enough, after 8 months of training, the first few months I could tell right away that she was picking things up, and she was calmed down. And then as the months went on, she was absolutely amazing. It was not the same dog. It was the same dog, but nobody would have believed it if they would have saw her 8 months ago, that she's the same dog. She's absolutely the most wonderful thing that I could possibly have in my life, besides my children and my husband, of course.